Well, if you saw the end of our last video, you'll probably recall that we made a mention that we were going to share some footage from the weekend that Shannon and I went to Watkins Glen International to see the Hilliard Vintage Grand Prix. Unfortunately, with the way things turned out this week, I didn't get everything edited. So we've decided we're going to put that off until next Saturday, and we'll bring that to you then. But don't worry, we've got another video in store for you. If you like the fall season, stick around because we think you'll enjoy this.
Old house on the corner.
Well, welcome back to the old house, everyone, and welcome to our I Love Fall video. We've seen this video going around YouTube for a little while, and we thought it might be fun for us to do. And so, without further ado, here are 10 questions regarding fall.
The first one is, what is your favorite fall scent? Do you have a favorite fall scent?
I don't know if I have a favorite fall scent. I'm not into scents.
Oh goodness, that's easy. Like, to me, the smell of leaves after they've fallen and you rake up the leaves and that smell, it's just a nice smell. And also, like, all the things you bake and cook, cinnamon, apple, all those scents. Don't really care for pumpkin, but just all the things that you didn't make all winter or all summer that you're now making. The smell of apples, the smell of cinnamon, the smell of leaves decaying, I guess, because they're dead on the ground. So.
The smell of leaves decaying.
Well, when you rake up leaves because they're on the ground, and you either, put them on the garden or the kids jump in them or whatever you're doing with them, like, that's just a pleasant fall smell that brings back good memories, I guess. So.
Okay. I suppose some of those things are probably scents that I enjoy in the fall. Not that I am looking for scents all the time, but
because you don't have a good smell. You don't smell things. You don't notice smells. I notice smells.
Well, I notice smells. I'm just not looking for smells, I guess. But I like the smell of cinnamon. I like the smell of things cooking in the fall. Apples. So, and I don't like pumpkin spice. All this nonsense with pumpkin spice, everything. That does not appeal to me. But I am the only one here at the old house who eats pumpkin pie.
Yeah, and he's forced all the kids to try it. Why you'd force anybody to try pie?
You must try pumpkin pie at least once.
But they all hated it, except Brianna. Brianna wasn't there, so he never has made her try pumpkin pie. But everybody else was forced to try pumpkin pie. Anyway, second question. What is the best way to spend a rainy day?
To spend a rainy day, probably, and this is probably going to be a default answer for a lot of people because I've seen a lot of people say it, but a rainy day says to me, jump on the couch, throw in a movie, and just spend time with the family.
Yeah, that. But for me, if I could pick anything to do on a rainy day, it would be catch up with things inside and then read. I'd prefer reading over watching a movie probably, but same thing, get comfy, blanket, warm drink, so similar but just something different to do. So.
Question number 3. What is your favorite fall drink?
Obviously specific to fall would be apple cider, and I don't like hot apple cider. Like, I'll drink it, but it's not my favorite. Fresh cold apple cider, and not the kind you buy at the grocery store either. It has to be specifically fresh pressed. If it's pasteurized, it can only be the UV pasteurized because that does not change the taste. Apple cider. So maybe I'm a cider snob because I'm very particular, but specifically for fall drink, that would be my favorite.
I would say probably one of my favorites for fall. I also do not like hot drinks, hot cider included, except for hot cocoa. I like hot cocoa. I don't drink hot coffee. I like iced mocha latte, and that's all year long.
I never said I didn't like hot drinks. I said I didn't like hot cider. I love hot water and I love hot coffee.
Yep. Yep.
But
But for fall drinks, probably hot cocoa and cold apple cider, fresh pressed. I don't like any of this stuff
whatever
that they sell in the
sell
store.
in the store is not cider.
If you can't get fresh pressed from a local cider mill, then you haven't had apple cider.
That's very true. So number 4, football, yay or nay?
Well, we live in Buffalo Bills country, so yay. We are Buffalo Bills fans, as well as Syracuse Orange fans.
Yeah, we like football. I tend to prefer college football over NFL football, but I will watch the Bills. I do like the Bills. Yeah, it's exciting, fun to watch, but college football is definitely better. And I'll watch pretty much any college game. If there's one on, and I have time to sit, I'll watch it.
But if there's a team that you want to win, don't watch with Claudine, because it seems like every team that Claudine roots for ends up tanking.
Not roots for, no. I'll turn on a game and it will be, because I only root for Syracuse really for college football. So I'll turn on a game that has like ranked teams, and whatever team is ranked higher and supposed to win doesn't win once I turn. I mean, they could be ahead by 40 points and I turn on the game and it's like it turns the opposite way, and it's just kind of funny. We've noticed that over the last couple of years. Anyway, favorite fall clothing. I love fall because you can get all your sweaters and all your sweatshirts. I love an oversized flannel shirt. Yeah, I prefer to be a little cold because you can always add layers. So I like the fall. I don't dislike winter. So I like, you can get all your warm, snuggly clothes, I guess. So I like it.
For me, I'm pretty much a hoodie guy, and I'll wear hoodies from now until spring. And that's pretty much my go-to for fall clothing, but right through the spring.
Question number 6. What is a favorite, or what are your favorite fall traditions?
Probably one of my favorites. When the kids were younger, we started going apple picking, and that was because we, as a family, carried the tradition of making my grandmother's homemade applesauce. That's a video that we've done in the past, episode number 24, and I'll put a link down in the description as well as up in the right hand corner. That's a tradition we started with the kids when they were younger, and we enjoyed going out and picking apples at a local orchard every year. As they've gotten older, we've kind of gotten away from that, and we don't make as much applesauce anymore. But what the kids have done and started liking lately is going to a local corn maze. And so every year we've gone to a corn maze nearby, and
Go at night.
we like to go at night. Everybody likes to be lost in the dark in a cornfield.
I don't know that everybody. I don't like being lost in the dark in the cornfield. And he'll take off, and I do not have a good sense of direction when it's dark, and I don't know where I'm going. He'll take off, and I'll be in there forever.
Just to clarify, I run out of patience waiting for certain individuals to pick a direction, because for whatever reason, I have a better sense of direction and I can find my way through the corn maze in the dark.
He's taller. That's why he's taller.
Yeah, I'm not over the corn. I can't see that far. But I just am able to pick out the direction and get out faster. And for whatever reason, and it's not just you, but I always seem to be with people who don't have a good sense of direction or can't choose a direction fast enough. And so I just eventually take off and get out of the corn before everybody else, because it's kind of fun waiting for them to come out and go, "Where were you?"
It's not fun. We have different ideas of fun. So those are probably our 2 biggest traditions. Also, when the kids were little, they always looked forward to when the leaves were on the ground and they could rake them up and jump in them. So that was something we always did. And as they are now getting older, like the traditions, as Dale said, are changing, and after another few years, we probably won't have any kids to go to the corn maze either, so I guess we're in the season where we'll start making our own new traditions. But as a kid growing up, one of my favorite traditions was we lived near a cider mill, just a little bit over from where our house was, and we had apple trees in the backyard. So my sister and I would always gather up apples, take them, he'd weigh them for you and tell you how many gallons of cider you could get with the apples that you brought in. So that was always a fun tradition. We loved going there, and he would show you how everything worked. And it's sad when I go back up there now and see that the thing is in disrepair, and I hear now it's going to be torn down, and so it like breaks my heart, because it was like that was every year that's what we did in the fall. So but yeah, those are our two main traditions. The other tradition is getting all the summer stuff put away and the stuff ready for winter, like tilling the garden, closing the pool, getting the carport all picked up, putting the grill away, getting the snowblower ready. So I guess you could say those are fall traditions, because you have to do them every year. So that's what a tradition is.
We also forgot carving pumpkins. The kids have enjoyed.
Oh yeah, pumpkins. We'd carve pumpkins and read the Pumpkin Patch Parable.
And that's a video that Claudine shared in episode 26. If you want to check that out, I'll put that down in the description as well.
And that leads into the next question: favorite fall books or movies? I don't know that we have, other than the Pumpkin Patch Parable, books that we've read every year. In the fall, we've had a couple that we've read different times, but nothing that we've read every year. And I don't really have anything that I specifically think, oh, it's fall, I need to read this book. And I don't really think there's any movies specifically that we watch only in the fall. Christmas, yeah, but not fall per se.
Yeah, I don't have any books or movies that we particularly watch or read.
I mean, once a year at least, usually. But it's usually more in the winter when we're home more often. The kids and I like to watch all the Anne of Green Gables movies and all of Pride and Prejudice, the original BBC one. But no fall movies or anything. All right. 8.
What is your favorite fall food?
I don't really have a favorite fall food that I can think of specifically that you only eat in the fall.
I would probably say, growing up here at the old house with my grandparents living here and my grandmother making the applesauce. Applesauce was one of my favorite fall foods, because this is the time we would normally get it. From here until through Thanksgiving into Christmas.
Fresh
applesauce.
He's talking fresh.
Yeah.
Still warm.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Although I don't like it warm, I like it cold.
Better warm.
But it's no, it's better for you.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's better warm. Trust me.
No, it's better cold. Trust me.
Anyway, so that's your favorite.
My grandfather would always want more sugar added.
Yeah, I learned early on not to let him taste test my applesauce, because the one year I did, and it was
candy.
Oh, it was bad.
I came home from work and tested it, and oh, that's candy.
It was bad. So, I think that was the first year I did it. First year I made it. But anyway.
Probably the other favorite fall thing for me is pumpkin pie, but I can't get it here, so I have to go to my mother's or my sister's.
If you don't like something, you don't usually make it well.
No.
And I cannot stand pumpkin anything. I can't. I just can't. I've tried. I can't. I don't see the thrill. So I don't make pumpkin anything. So it's genetic. That's why our kids don't like it.
Probably.
So my favorite fall food, I don't really have just all the food that you don't make all summer that you start making again. I guess. I don't know. Unless it's like anything made with apple pie, apple crisp. You make those more with fresh apples in the fall maybe. And so that. Favorite fall recipes. I guess, like I said, all the things that you don't make all summer because you're grilling, it's too hot to turn the oven on. You don't want to make that, so our kids are all excited. Oh, now we can have meatloaf again. Now we can have, which we sometimes make that in the summer on the grill anyway, but now we can have shepherd's pie. Now we can have homemade bread. And because literally once it starts warming up and being really warm, especially overnight, like if it doesn't cool down at night, we just don't turn the oven, and we rarely turn the stove on if we can help it.
Oven is used very rarely when it gets warm.
Any favorite fall recipes would be anything we haven't made all summer the kids are dying to have. So anything you'd bake in the oven, lasagna, shepherd's pie, that kind of thing. And we do a lot in the crock pot too at times, but that's...
I like the fresh bread. I like the smell of fresh bread and eating fresh bread. That's good.
And question number 10, favorite thing about fall.
Favorite thing about the fall.
I know mine, so while he's thinking, I will go. I like routine and I like planning. And I really like the change of every season. I think the anticipation of what that season brings is why I like the beginning of every season. But fall is definitely my favorite because after summer, number one, I don't like when it's really, really hot and humid. I don't mind heat, I just hate humidity. So when it's really humid, I'm ready for cooler temperatures, cooler nights. So that, but also you get back to like a routine in the fall. The summers can be really spontaneous. Oh, someone invited you over for a campfire. Oh, someone invited you to a picnic, and there's all this stuff and you're running here and there, and I tend to be more of a homebody and I'd rather be home. So the fall you kind of get back into a routine and there's more normalcy and things are more planned, and that's what I like. So I really prefer fall, winter, spring, and then when things start getting really busy later in the spring through the summer, that's probably my least favorite time just because I hate being constantly busy. I like being home. I love my family and I love being with them, so running here and there and everywhere I don't really care for. And we've kept life very simple as far as the kids. They aren't involved in a ton of stuff, so we aren't running hither and yon all the time. So
we spend a lot more family time than a lot of families do.
So that's what I like about fall. It's like a return to a routine, and you get back into school and the school routine, and so the days are more planned. And I do better when things are planned rather than just fly by the seat of your pants and spontaneous. I then never usually accomplish much of anything. I need my plan and my schedule and routine. So that's one of my favorite things about fall. Besides all the, fun things that you get to do, like the apple picking, the corn maze, all those nice fun things, and the temperatures are less hot and humid, so I like that too. Like 65 to 75, 75 is starting to get warm, but 65 to 70, even 60 to 70 probably is my favorite temperature.
I would probably say one of the favorite things I enjoy living here in the northeast of the country is our fall colors on the trees. And although we don't have as bright and vibrant colors as the New England states, we have a lot of nice colors and good fall foliage here in New York State. So that's probably one of the things that I like to see every year. Although this year we might not get very
hasn't
good
been
colors.
Cold. You need a couple good frosts to get the colors to be really vibrant,
and it's been too wet as well.
We haven't had a single frost yet, and it's the end of September. Like tomorrow's October 1st, so that for us where we live right here in this valley, it's very late for a frost. So normally now the leaves would be we'd be almost at the peak of leaf season, and we haven't even started hardly to change. You're just starting now to see a few yellows and browns.
Not so much reds.
Yeah, no reds or oranges really yet.
This year.
So hopefully maybe we'll get a frost and we'll get some of those still, but so far it's kind of a dud fall for colors.
Yeah.
At least here in New York, southern New York. So that's our I Love Fall video, and
we hope you enjoyed it.
And if you did, give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications.
And if you want to leave some comments down below about your fall things, go ahead and leave those too. We love to read them.
And if you're a vlogger and want to do an I Love Fall video, we'd love to watch it.
Thanks for stopping by the old house. Come again soon.